fantastic, 1-0.
It was, and we just found out that OK Brugman wrapped up the second half with that game. They're now 11-2, and the team that they just beat were the ones that were right behind them.
Just a game back, Mary, and of course the season will be ending very soon. We'll continue to have the action for you here from Memorial Field, so stay tuned with us as we go out through the Cable 9 men's softball season. So why don't we go down to the field here and get ready for game number 2, and hey, thanks for joining us here in the booth, by the way. So we're about ready to roll here for game number 2.
Thank you.
And anytime the guys are ready down on the field, it'll be GE against Mary's Cleaning. And Mary, you are not affiliated with that club.
No, I am not. I do as little cleaning as possible.
One last roster change. Mary Eicher is in at catch for GE, so Dark is out. And the first pitch to Lehman for GE from Schwind is a strike. Mary's Cleaning won the first half season. Brugman, we mentioned, pretty much wrapping up the second half. Here's a shot into the gap in the center field. A leadoff single for Lehman. They throw back to first. They've got him picked off in a rundown. Back to first, and they get him out, and a great play by the center fielder, Sharp.
That was a very exciting way to start the game.
So Lehman gets a single, but is thrown out. If you're scoring it at home, score it a single, then you score it 8-3-4-3. That's how you score it. 1 out as Lehman is retired, and here's Crocky, the first baseman. Takes a strike from Schwind. Lang behind the plate, Majny at first, Schwind at second, Young at short, Wade at third. In the outfield, only 3 players. Correo is in left, Sharp in center, and Forsteri is in right. Mary's Cleaning going with 9 players tonight. Here's the pitch. Hit well into left field. Correo will have to move over to his right. He puts it away for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down with McDonough, the shortstop, in the number 3 spot for GE.
She's struggling to get somebody on. Try to get on the board early. They saw how that first game ended up.
Again, 1-0. Some of the spectators making their way to Memorial Field. And here's the first pitch. Hit into the air in center field. Sharp will go over and put it away for the out. It actually comes out as 1-2-3, but no runs and a hit. Nobody left after a half an inning. It's General Electric, nothing. Mary's Cleaning coming to bat, and speaking of Mary, here she is.
We want to remind everybody to watch Adult Health Forum. That deals with issues and concerns of senior citizens, and you can see that Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. And currently, they'll be discussing financial planning, which is very important.
Well, it certainly is, but I'll tell you, Mary, if you're a senior citizen and you haven't started to plan by then, I think it's a bit too late. Although, no, I think they're talking, Mary, about what you have done with your money. It's a very informative show. Please watch it. And that's Adult Forum or whatever?
Adult Health Forum.
Adult Health Forum. A new show here on Cable 9. It'll be the bottom of the first inning for Mary's Cleaning in the Bumblebee yellow and black jerseys. It'll be Alan Sharp, Cliff Majny, and Jay Young, 1, 2, 3. Followed by Matt Wade, Jim Correo, Pete Schwind, Eric Schwind, Pete Forsteri, and Jeff Lang. That's the lineup. The defensive chart for GE, Simon on the mound, Eicher behind the plate, Crocky at first, Gibson at second, McDonough at short, Lucard at third, Lehman in left field, Lober in left center, Cantura in right center, Bell in right. And here we go with the bottom of the first. First pitch by Simon inside for ball 1. Back General Electric 2-0 on Cable 9.
They said we were
up into little pieces.
On the air a couple weeks ago, Brugman on TV, and that was what, 4-3? The first baseman.
That Brugman has 2 losses the second half, and both of them were to GE.
Isn't that how it goes, Joe? You really, there's some teams you can't beat. It's just you don't match up well against them, and you get, you know, they could be 2-8, and you'll still lose to them. Here's the pitch. Inside. Simon, a little bit of control problems, Mary, here in the top of the first, or bottom of the first, pardon me. Again, we'll be taking a break after this half inning. Alerting the local stations, there'll be a commercial break after this half inning.
Yeah, I think Simon just needs to settle in a little bit.
Ground ball played off the glove of Lucard. He'll have no play. And our scorer, Joe Hauser, scores at an error. So Mancini on at first with the error, and Jay Young, the shortstop, will be batting in the number 3 spot. Leaping through Joe's book here. He's a real idiot for you right there.
Andy's calling Marty Schottenheimer an idiot.
I did not say he was an idiot.
You
I
did.
said there is a real idiot. I didn't. Don't be putting words in my mouth there. Here's a smash. Cantura goes back for GE. The runners will advance. The throw will be cut off. Runners at second and third now with one away as the cleanup hitter, Matt Wade, will be stepping in. I predict this game here, Joe, Sunday, December 17th against the Vikings will be a big, big football game. That'll be a great game to go down there and see. This one well hit in the left field. Lehman going back. It's deep enough to score a run. A sacrifice fly by Wade and an RBI give Mary's Cleaning the 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first. In fact, Mary, if we go back to that OK Brugman game, I believe the run that was scored in that game was an unearned run.
And there was no runs batted in the first game.
Speaking of no runs batted in, Jim Correo flies out to end the first. 1 run on no hits. 1 man is left, and we played 1 as Mary's Cleaning 1, GE nothing. We'll be right back.
This is Al.
Do
I'm Al.
you have any pets, Andy?
No, unfortunately, Mary, where I live, I don't have room for them, and plus I'm not home that often.
Do you have any babies?
No, not yet. Not yet, Mary. Takes 2 to tango, you know. There's a line drive base hit in the left field, leading off the inning for GE is Lucard. He takes the wide turn, but he'll stay there this time. 2 hits in the ball game for GE. They trail 1-0, and here's Laubert, the left center fielder, in the number 5 spot.
Uh-oh, I see a spy amongst us. Someone scouting from Larry's place over there along the fence. Checking out the opposition.
There's a ball outside. And a strike count even at 1-1 on Laubert. Lynch is on deck.
Oh no, they're making more predictions about the Browns. Andy thinks the Browns are going to be in first place.
Now, Mary, you're not supposed to say these things until when we get going in the end of August.
But this
What's
is
the matter with you?
It's called a
You're going to ruin the
teaser.
spoil.
No,
What's the matter with you?
it's all in the plan. It's a teaser to make people tune in.
All right, I could always change my mind, you know.
That's true.
Absolutely. So base on balls to Laubert. And here's Lentz now with 2 on and nobody out for GE in the top half of the second inning. And Lentz takes one on the outside corner for strike 1. Lentz the DH. Outside of the count is even 1-1. It's the top of the second inning here at Memorial Field. Ground ball to the second baseman. They go to second for 1. To first, not in time. Lentz on with the fielder's choice as Laubert is retired for out number 1. And you score that at home, 4-6 on the put out. Lentz at first, Lucard is at third with 1 down, and here's Bell, the right fielder. Well, again, when you watch this ball game, we'll be 1 week away from the start of the National Football League season. Ground ball up the middle at the base hit, and an RBI for Bell. And it's now 1-1 here in the top half of inning number 2 as Lucard scores. And Mary, we've doubled our output of the first game here in the second inning.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a little different than the first one.
Well, here's Gibson, the second baseman. Schwind pitch in there for strike 1. pitch. Hit the opposite way into right field. Frosteri is there, makes the play, and they'll throw it into third. So that's out number 2 in the inning. And Cantura, the right center fielder, will be stepping up in the number 9 spot.
We have runners on the corners for Cantura.
Very close to leaving early, Mary, I thought. They don't appeal. I always had a scout, Mary, one eyeball on the field to check those things out for me. That was usually me. And a strike taken there. The count even 1-1 to Cantura. Simon, the pitcher, on deck with 2 out here in the second. Here's the chop back to the mound. Schwind goes to first for the out, and the inning is over. For GE in the top of the second, 1 run, 2 base hits, 2 are left, and after an inning and a half, we're tied at 1, and here's Mary Moore.
You can see our cameraman up there in the stands, Trey Shively. He's a summer intern with us. He goes to school at Bowling Green, but he lives in Aurora, so we're nice and handy for him to do his summer internship here. He went out and did camera for me at the Summit County Fair and did a great job. And he anchored our Cable 9 update this week, so you can get a close-up and personal view of him there. There's one of our younger viewers at Memorial Field. They bring the whole family out here. Really have a good time.
This is one of our largest crowds of the season here, Mary. They saw Dandy in Game 1. OK Brugman defeated Cramp Stables 1-0. Brugman only had 3 hits, Mary. The key play was a 3-base error by Holohan in right center field, allowing the only run to score. That's what we use here, friends. Not that big. That's the official softball here at Memorial Field. In fact, you see Dennis kicking the ball there at the corner of your screen. Pete Schwind pops one up in the infield, and the shortstop, McDonough, has the play for out number 1 as Eric Schwind, the second baseman, will be stepping in. 1-1 our score. Mary's Cleaning still looking for their first hit of the ball game, Mary.
They're trying.
And the pitch by Simon. Outside, ball 1. Up the middle. In fact, Simon got out of the way of that one. A solid single into center field. Picked up by Laubert and thrown in off line. And that's hit number 1 for Mary's Cleaning in the ball game for Eric Schwind. And here's Pete Frosteri, the number 8 hitter and the right fielder.
Schwind rounded first base and was real tempted to go to second because they were bobbling the ball a bit in the outfield. As it turned out, he probably should have gone since it was a bad throw to the second base. You just never know about those things. I guess it's better safe than sorry.
That's true, Mary. In fact, they may notice this and go on this guy. They may go on the outfielders a little bit later in the ball game.
Right.
I used to love to have guys taking bases on the outfield.
Kind of shakes them up out there, too.
Better believe it. Forces a lot of mistakes. For Stary, the number 8 hitter, Jeff Lang rounds it up in the 9 spot, as Mary's Cleaning just having enough players to get underway tonight. And a strike is called on for Stary, and he was about halfway to first, Mary, before he was called back.
He was on his way. Kind of shocked him when he heard the word strike.
Here's a chop, a knuckleball in the left field area, pulled down by Lehman. He fires it back in. That's the second out, and here's Jeff Lang.
Lehman almost overran that ball. He had to reach backward to catch it. Faster than he thinks.
Tough play, though, Mary. That ball was hit like a knuckleball out there again. And a strike called on the outside corner. Simon on the mound with Eicher behind the plate. Swung on, hit off the handle, a lazy fly ball in the left field for a base hit. And the ball kicked around again. The throw comes into second. It's offline. I mean, there are balls going all over the place, and Lang credited with a single. Eric Schwind stops at third, and runners at the corners with 2 out. And here's Alan Sharp, top of the lineup, who walked and scored in the first.
Well, you'll notice, Andy, when the outfielder started bobbling the ball that time, Schwind wasn't about to stop at second. He knew.
Ground ball, nice play by Simon. Throws to first, and the inning is over. No runs on 2 hits. 2 men are left after an inning, or after 2, I beg your pardon. We're tied at Memorial Field at 1, and we'll be right back.
Sounds like there's some...
The top of the third inning, and we're dusting off home plate. Oh, that's a precarious shot by George Sulia.
I'd like to see them stay with that here on these pitch and get an aerial view of how they hit the ball here. It'd be very interesting to see that when they take a swing of how that ball goes off the bat, Mary. It'd be very interesting.
That's true, but I'm glad I'm not up there hanging over the edge.
Not at all. Here's Simon, the batter. He sends it in the short left field. Young going back, but called up by Correo for the out. That's 1 up and 1 down as Eicher, the catcher for GE, will be stepping in. And Mary wears number 69 on the back of that royal blue jersey.
How mature.
1-1 our score in the top of the third inning. It's an odd number for a softball player. I'm used to seeing guys in the teens and the 20s. Oh, I agree with you. Yes, indeed. Here's a chop. This is going to have eyes and find its way into center field. That ball is hockey pucked around in the center field area by Sharp, and Eicher gets a base hit. I agree with you, Mary, on your statement. We won't elaborate any further, but I agree with you. And here comes Lehman, the left fielder, number 23. Eicher at first. There's a chop knocked down by Schwind. Throw to second. It's wild. Going into third, and that will be an error on the second baseman, Schwind. Lehman on at first, score E4. E4 as Crocky, the first baseman, will be stepping up. 2 men on, Mary, with 1 out on the top of the third inning.
Yeah, Schwind just seemed to throw it right in the dirt there. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it just, sometimes it sticks to your fingers longer than you want it to, and it just kind of goes straight down.
In fact, Mary, we had a monitor problem here in the booth. I just realized that and fixed it. Crocky takes a strike, and I think it's 1-1.
Yeah,
See the technician that I am, Mary. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Eicher at second, Lehman on at first via the error. Here's the pitch. Smash to the shortstop. They may have 2. They go to second for 1, no play. Fielder's choice retires Lehman for the second out as Crocky's on at first and Eicher takes third.
That would have been a very difficult one to double up on because Schwind was running toward third base, and then he'd have to turn around and throw back to first again.
This is McDonough, the batter. McDonough 0 for 1, the shortstop. Runners at the corners with 2 out here in the inning.
Joe Hauser, did I hear that there was a forfeit at the other field in this league?
I didn't see it.
They're whispering over there about something.
Joe was interrupted by an umpire from another league, and he missed a play, and I corrected him that an error should have been issued to Lehman on the plate there. McDonough draws a walk to load the bases now for the cleanup man, Mary, and that's Luke Hart, the third baseman.
Yay! Joe, did that umpire say that there was a forfeit at the other field in this league?
Yeah.
Who was that?
FOP didn't have enough ball players.
No.
The police department.
They're all on a patrol.
No, they were at a convention. They had a convention.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The costly convention, was it $50, Joe, forfeit fee this year, or 75?
No, 28.
$28. Here's Lucard batting with the bases. Well, I'm sorry, Mary. Go ahead, please.
No, it was just going to be a stupid. You either play or you pay, huh?
No, the umpires, you got to be paid for their time, and so does the scorer. Right up the middle, look out! Off the bag, and they get the force out. Mary to end the inning, and how about that one?
Schwind just about got his head taken right off on that one, but he deflected it so that the shortstop, Young, could get it and make the out.
In fact, Mary, it hit off of Schwind's glove, hit the bag at second, bounced off the bag into Young's glove, and he stepped on the bag for the force out. No runs, 1 hit, an error, a walk, and the bases remain loaded. After 2.5, we're still tied at 1, and there's my good friend Dennis Sahetka.
There he is. Well, he's been working tonight, carrying that heavy camera around in this heat.
And the same to you, Dennis. Hey, I'd say I was so glad to hear when you guys, when yourself, Mary, and Dennis were made a part of the organization. I was very delighted for both of you. And it was a good thing they did, because you were working with Jeff and Tom. It's been a delight working with you guys the last couple of years.
Well, thank you very much. We love having you around.
Thank you. I didn't realize I didn't know you cared. Well, we go to the bottom half of the third inning here. It's Majdi, Young, and Wade. Majdi rips one into left field. Back to make the play is Lehman for one out. And here's Jay Young, the shortstop.
Young with a bit of an unusual hairdo there.
Joe. This is
He
Young,
takes
I
the ball.
believe. I
Yep.
believe Young, the shortstop, is up. With Joe being interrupted here by every Tom, Dick, and Harry in Macedonia. There's the look at Simon and the pitch. Swung on, two-hopper to the shortstop. McDonough, long throw to first. They got him for out number 2. Young retired 6-3, and here comes the cleanup batter, the third baseman, Matt Wade.
Nice play by McDonough. You know, Andy, I have to say, we haven't been at this Monday-Wednesday league in a couple weeks now, and I just think in those couple weeks, there's been tremendous improvement.
Certainly has, Mary, as Wade fouls one off into foul territory and down left field. No, I'll agree with you. Last time we were here, we saw some lethargic play, but that first ball game, I'll tell you, Mary, that was very much evident of what we usually see Tuesday, Thursday. In fact, some of the plays even better than Tuesday, Thursday that we saw in that game.
That's true.
And a strike taken by Wade, and the count is 2 strikes now on the cleanup hitter. And this one off the handle to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nothing across. We're finished with 3 at Memorial Field, and we're still tied at 1, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, Bill Cosby here. Sickle cell anemia is not something you can catch like the measles. You have to be born with it, and until we can find a cure, you have to live with it for the rest of your life. In America, sickle cell anemia is a major health problem to black Americans. 1 in 12 blacks carry sickle cell.
Or lesbian.
Black and planning to have a family, please get a sickle cell test at your local sickle cell organization. For more information, write the National Association for Sickle Cell Disease, Inc. Thank you.
We're starting the 4th inning here at Memorial Field, and the score is still 1-1. I think it's another...
As well, we're in the 4th inning. We've gone about 20 minutes on this one. I tell you, we may be running 25 minutes of ads. Usually we go 2 hours on these broadcasts, but we're talking about an hour and a half. First game, of course, we're talking 42 minutes, a new record. In fact, that was the lowest amount of output, only 1 run scored in that, and I'll tell you again, save that tape, friends, it was a good one. This one hit off the end of the bat, tailing away. Could be trouble for the left fielder, but he plays it perfectly to retire the man for out number 1. In fact, that batter was Laubert, who was retired by Correo in left field. In fact, a reminder, Mary's Cleaning only playing with 9 men.
That's a good point to make, because in a game this tight, you wouldn't think that one team is a player down.
This one popped up. Young should have a play on it at shortstop. He does for the second out. 2 up and 2 down, Mary, as Lintz was retired, and here comes Bell.
Young hustled out for that one. Everyone's doing more than their share to make up for the one man down.
Well, we've noticed the ball is hanging tonight in the very humid air, and that is allowing these young speedsters in the outfield for Mary's Cleaning to get underneath the ball. Got some good speed out there. That's a big key. This is going to be tough, hit in the gap, but here comes the center fielder, Sharp, to make the play. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. Middle of the 4th, our score remains GE 1, Mary's Cleaning 1. Mary?
Well, I want to encourage everybody who can listen to the radio during the day to turn on WKDD each day from 2 to 6 and listen to the Danny Wright Show. Danny does some work for us at Cable 9. He helps out on my movie review show, and he does a lot of promoting on the things that we do here at Cable 9. So In return, I'd like to promote his radio show. He's #1 in his time slot now. So everybody tune in. That's 96.5 on your radio dial.
That's right, and those morons at 3WE probably regretting that they let him go.
You're probably right.
I'll tell you, I met Danny at that party we had. He's a nice man. His wife very pleasant as well. And I'm glad to see he's back on the air where he belongs.
And do you know he has lost 25 pounds now?
Why is everybody losing weight and I keep gaining it? What's going on around here? You guys look great, and I'm the big fat guy around here, and I'm gonna get. They're gonna have to make the booth bigger at Nordonia for me to get in there now. No,
I don't think it's that bad.
No, I'm kidding. People probably think I'm a blimp, but I'm not that.
Yeah.
Here's a smash down the left field line. Oh, inches foul. In fact, Mary, that ball was inside out. It was foul and curving back fair and just missed.
How disappointing for the poor batter.
You know, you don't see that too often, though. The ball usually goes the other way, but Correo had a little bit of reverse action on that. That ball was coming back, and it was fouled by about 2 inches. Yeah, and that was a good call, too, right on the money. Here's a chopper up the middle for a base hit for Correo, and he's so tired this time that he walked down to first base.
Well, it's almost like there's no air in the air because it's so thick.
Well, the air is there, Mary. You just have to reach out and touch it.
You have to grab it in your hands and stuff it in your lungs.
That's it. You better believe it. Or get a straw and start sniffing it. Well, getting a little heat prostration up here in the booth. I think it's affecting my mind. Here's Pete Schwind, the pitcher, back to normalcy once again. Here's a chop to the third baseman. Lucart to second for 1, and a good play by Gibson to hold on to the bag. Correo retired as Schwind is on first via the fielder's choice, and here comes Eric Schwind, the second baseman.
Great play by Gibson as the throw was pulling him off the bag. He's not a big guy either. He had to really stretch to keep that toe on the bag.
Certainly did. Eric's a left-handed bowler, and he bats right. That's pretty good. It's very odd. Here's a chop. Short hops to second baseman. They go bat 1. The throw to first. Not in time, so Schwind on top with the fielder's choice. That's 2 out.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll bring up Pete Versteri, the right fielder. Pete tonight is 0 for 1.
That was a real close one on the double play. Here's a close-up on some of our players at Memorial Peel.
Or the more vocal
Yeah,
GE players.
getting kind of
including his
excited.
team. I'm sure he's got his glove on. Why don't you come out and play? I think he could lend him over to Mary's Cleaning, though. They need a player, or 2.
He was already in the line. He's dark and getting cracked.
Oh, no wonder he's yelling over
He
there.
can still come in, though. He can re-enter, basically. But then, of course, Eicher has to retire then for the day. Now, here's Versteri with 1 on and 2 out. Swung on. Oh, just out of the reach of Lucart. A single into left field. Putting runners at first and second now with 2 out. And Jeff Lang, the catcher, due up in this big game tonight, Mary. 1-1.
And Mary's Cleaning's threatening now, though, with 2 men on base and coming up to the top of their batting order after Lang.
Oh, Mary, Joe hasn't had to use too many light bulbs on a scoreboard with 1s up there tonight. That's about the minimum amount of bulbs you could use.
It's going to be a record for you, too. 3 runs and
3 runs. Well, somebody will have to score because we'll be here all night. Baltimore chop up the middle into center field. Could score a run. Schwind will score on an RBI single by Jeff Lang, and Lang tonight is 2 for 2 out of the 9 hole.
Those hits are just coming back too fast at Simon. He doesn't even have time to react to them.
Well, the Mary's Cleaning bench is all fired up. In fact, Mary, the way we're going tonight, that could be the game winner. This one hit well in the left field. Lehman goes in, he makes the play, and the inning is over. But a run scores on 3 base hits, 2 are left. After 4 complete, the score, Mary's Cleaning 2, GE 1, and we'll be right back.
We're starting the 5th inning, and the score has changed now. It's Mary's Cleaning leading 2-1 over GE, and I want to take that puppy home.
Hope he doesn't have to do any business on the camera there. That'd be terrible to have that. Well, never mind. It's a family show, Mary. Top of the inning, Gibson, Cantor, and Simon.
I'm trying to say you'll mistake it for a fire plug.
Well, they're both red.
Stranger things, Joe. 8, 9, 10 batters for GE. They trail 2-1. Here's the pitch. On the plate, and the base on balls for Gibson, leading off the top half of the 5th inning here, and a 2-1 score. Mary, we've played 11 innings and have had 4 runs scored.
Is that a new record?
Oh, it's got to be. And we've had games where there have been 4 runs scored without even an out being made. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Short hop. They'll go to second for 1. Throw to first is wild. Backs up. Great play by Lang, the catcher. Look where he's at, all the way down in the short right field to make that play. How about that for some heads-up play?
Oh, that's wonderful to see. Young, I don't think, should have tried to make that play single-handedly. That was too far for him to run.
Well, here's Simon, the pitcher. He takes a strike. I'll tell you, you gotta like Lang there on that play. Boy, he hustled his tail off down that line. You don't see too many catchers that can do that in this league. Here's a smash into center field. And a single there for Simon. And they've got 2 men on now with 1 out, and Eicher, the catcher, will be stepping in. And Eicher is 1 for 1. In fact, it was last week, Mary, on the air. I think the bottom 2 guys in the lineup for all 4 games batted about .750 that night. And again, in this ball game, the bottom hitters are 3 for 3. Eicher takes a ball.
I guess there's less pressure when you're at the bottom of the lineup. Maybe you can relax a little.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Goes to tag the lead runner on the fielder's choice. Eicher on at first. They retire the lead runner, Cantura. And Young doing a lot of unassisted work in the infield.
Good play by Young over there.
There you see Dark screaming and yelling down at first base for GE. Wish I had a guy like that on my team. Well, he's really behind these guys. This one hit the other way. Majdi has a play. He puts it away to end the inning. No runs on 1 base hit. 2 men are left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th, our score. It's Mary's Cleaning 2, GE 1, and here's Mary with more information.
Well, don't forget to watch University Street every Monday at 7 and Friday at 7:30. That's the show produced by Justin Lucas. There's Justin Lucas doing the directing chores, and Tom Common helping out there. But this week, if you watch University Street, you'll be able to see Ohio Northern University, Florida State, and the usual features of the music news and the university information. So if you're in high school or in college, this is the show for you to be watching, because there's information about almost any college you can imagine and just the college life in general.
Mary Dark goes in behind the plate for GE. He'll go into the bottom of the order. Look at the big crowd overflow here tonight. Here we go now. Simon on the mound. First pitch to Majdi. I wish we had a mic down there on the field. I'm going to see if I can stick my mic out the window here. Maybe we can hear Dark behind the plate. Listen to this.
I think he's microphone shy, Andy. As soon as we stick it out of the window, he's quiet.
I tell you though, you put a guy behind the plate, and that's tough on the batters. It really is. And a base on balls to Majdi to lead off the bottom of the 5th for Mary's Cleaning. They lead it 2-1. Dark may even have Simon plus.
I think that maybe he did shake him up a little. He's certainly waking everybody up.
Ground ball of the third baseman, go to second for 1. He dropped the ball, but they'll call him out. They'll call him out. He did have possession. Good call.
Yeah, Gibson dropped it, but he picked it up before the runner got to the base.
He lost it when he went to make the throw, so the force out is retired as Majdi retired. Jay Young on at first, and here comes the cleanup hitter, Matt Wade. And the pitch. Laced down the left field line, hooking foul, and a great play out there by Lehman. The runner will advance to second. He makes the turn. So Wade is retired, and that'll bring up Jim Correo, the left fielder.
But Young is a fast runner over there. He was to second base before I even knew what was going on.
He thought about third as well if that ball was offline. We've got people even in chairs here. They brought their own material. Here's the pitch to Correo. Fouls it back. And heads up there, Mr. Dark. There he is.
I want to touch the ball. Come here, man. Put it right there.
I think he goes home from every game a horse.
Probably. Oh, there's a ground ball into center field, a base hit. Young will come around to score, and it's 3-1 now for Mary's Cleaning as Correo gets an RBI single.
That hot grounder went through everybody.
Yeah, it's a big bulge now, a 2-run lead for Mary's Cleaning. Here comes Pete Schwind, the pitcher. Laced into left field, and they're getting now to Mr. Simon. Base hit, the runner coming to third. Oh, they call him safe.
Ball was on the ground.
Ball was trapped.
Under the glove.
And now the argument will ensue. It'll be a single for Schwind. Correo stops at third, and again the call, the ball was not in the glove, it was trapped and pressed to the ground.
Good call by the umpire.
We always have good calls by the umpiring out here. I mean that. Guys have always done a great job out here. Ground ball up the middle, and it's merry-go-round time for Mary's Cleaning. The runner will go to third, the throw off line. The ball all over the infield, an RBI single for Eric Schwind. And it's 4-1.
Yeah, GE's got to settle down out there. They're coming unraveled.
And Mary, you'd never know that Mary's Cleaning is playing with 9 men. In fact, this could be another first. We've never done a game with 9 men that have won. They've always been on the short end of the stick. Ground ball to the third baseman. They'll go to second for the force out, and the inning is over. Damage done, though. 2 runs on 3 base hits. 2 are left. We'll go to the 6th with Mary's Cleaning on top of GE at 4-1, and we'll be right back.
On Mary's Cleaning over GE. We got the camera angle from behind home plate.
Unique perspective here at Memorial Field. A first in television history. We have a camera behind the plate. This is Jeff Lang batting for, I'm sorry, wrong team. Ground ball single into left field for Crockett to lead off the top of the 6th for GE. And Mary, the old GE Magic may be coming back. They're 2-0 here on Cable 9.
Well, they don't want to get any further behind, and it's the 6th inning already.
Top of the 6th, here's McDonough, the pitch. Short for ball 1. On deck is Lucart, the third baseman. Swung the opposite way. Through hits the umpire. The live ball. And now they've got to play at second. And they got him out. No, they called him safe at second.
Yeah, the first base umpire was screened on that one. He couldn't make the call.
Well, in fact, technically, Mary, the umpire held the runner at second. That ball would have gone into right field. They'd be first and third. And here comes Lucart, the third baseman. Nobody out. The first 2 men are on. Swung in and popped up. Infield fly rule is called. Young makes the play for out number 1. And Lobert, the number 5 man, a left center fielder, is stepping in.
2 runners on base, both wanting to come home.
Yeah. There's a look at Schwind on the mound for Mary's Cleaning as Lobert will be stepping in, the left-handed hitter. There's a strike, and you see that ball coming right over the heart of the plate.
I hope there's no foul tips back there.
Swung on and hit the opposite way. Correo puts it away for out number 2. And GE got the first 2 men on. They're now wasting a golden opportunity to get back into this ball game.
Good job by Correo keeping the runner on second. He took a few steps off of there, but Correo's throw was right on the mark.
Here's Lentz, the DH. And Dark over on the bench rooting on his ball club. Here's Lentz, the DH. takes one outside for ball one. We're in the top of the sixth, 4-1. Mary's cleaning on top. Outside again, 2 balls and no strikes. Lint's a good patient hitter. On the inside corner for strike one, and the count is 2-1. That's short, as you see there. 3-1 the count to Lintz, and the right fielder Bell on deck. Now you see the runners at first and second with 2 out, and Schwind ready to pitch. Here it comes. Ball 4 and a base on balls to Lintz, loading them up for Bell with 2 away in the sixth and a single, and we've pretty much got almost a new ball game.
Very well could be, Andy. We'll see what Bell can do.
Bell eyes one for a strike, measuring up the pitcher Schwind. Hit into the air, could be trouble. This might find its way in, but no. Young comes over to make the play, and the inning is over. No runs. 2 hits, they leave them loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth inning, and Mary's cleaning, leading it 4-1. Mary?
Well, I've been invited to something pretty interesting, Andy. Myself and Danny Wright and the movie critic from the Plain Dealer and the movie critic from the Beacon Journal are going to take part in a panel discussion at the Quaker Square Hilton on August 3rd. And we have to sit there and answer a bunch of questions to film distributors and movie house owners about what we think about movies and what we look for when we review them.
Sounds interesting. Mary.
Yeah.
Any other messages? Because we're almost done here, going to the bottom of the sixth.
Well, have I ever mentioned the Fishing Diary?
No, you didn't.
We show that every Sunday at 7:30 in the evening with your host, Billy Westmoreland.
A fishing diary. A lot of fishermen would enjoy that around here with all the fishing areas. Lake Erie, a lot of the inland lakes. At the bottom of the sixth is Jeff Lang, Alan Sharp, and Cliff Magney. This is the catcher Lang. Good speedster behind the plate, backs up very good defensive catcher. And here's the pitch. Taken there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Oh, you like to hit, Bob, here.
Swung on off the end of the bat. Coming in is Lehman to make the play. He puts it away for out number 1. If you're just joining us, our score 4-1 here in the bottom of the sixth. Mary's cleaning with 9 men, leading a full squad of GE players at 4-1. Game 1, it was OK Brugman 1, Cramp Stables nothing in the gem, and if you missed it, sorry you did, because it was a dandy. This ball hit through the opposite way in the infield, out to right field, a base hit for Alan Sharp. Sharp doing very well, 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And Cliff Magney, the first baseman, will be stepping in. And here's the pitch. Inside for ball 1.
Oh, wait. Here you go, Bob.
There's Simon. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strike. Alan Sharp on at first. Jay Young on deck for Mary's cleaning. 1 out, 1 on. Here's the pitch. Short for ball 3. And Magney looking for his second walk of the ball game.
Magney makes up his mind real early in the pitch that he doesn't want that one and just kind of lets his bat slide down.
He's got good eye that he can tell that early where it's going to be. And base on balls again for Magney, his second of the ball game. And Mary, there's guys who don't even walk twice in a season, let alone 1 game.
You got to be a patient hitter for that.
Well, it takes discipline. That's why Magney bats in the second spot. Here's Jay Young.
All right. Oh, he's a home run hitter. Check him out, Bob. Right here.
Young batting in the 3 spot, looking for his first hit of the ball game. He takes a strike. It'll be a unique perspective if he should hit one out, Mary. We could stay on that home plate camera and get a load of that ball as it gets out of here. Young, the batter, the shortstop. Line drive in a left field. That's a base hit. He'll score the runner from second. Runner coming in the third. And it'll be interesting to see how they'll score. It'll be a single Joe and taking the base on the throw. So Jay Young gets an RBI. As Alan Sharp scores from second, it's now a 5-1 ball game in favor of Mary's Cleaning. And Matt Wade, the cleanup batter and third baseman, will step in. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the ball game. Line drive into left field, a base hit. 2 runs will score. Throw will be going into second, offline, gets by. Runner heading to second, no play. And Wade has made it a 7-1 ball game for Mary's Cleaning.
Mary's Cleaning is going to make it real tough for GE to come back in the top of the 7th.
Now the streak, I think, for General Electric's going to end, Mary, at 2.
Oh, we got the slug over here. Oh, get that. Bob.
I think Dark's getting tired of yelling ever since he's been out there. They get shelled. When they put him behind the plate, they've exploded. Put him in the 5th, they scored 2. They've scored 3 in the 6th. This ball hit into right center field. Cantura there. He puts it away. The runner heading into third, he'll be in there standing up. That's the second out of the inning, and Pete Schwind, the pitcher, will be stepping up. A lot of guys, I guess maybe that gets their adrenaline going too, gentlemen. I would say so, Marion. Dark might have some trouble finding his way back into the lineup in the future for GE. It's a good look at Pete Schwind, the pitcher, doing a nice job pitching a 1-run ball game, doing very well spreading the hits around, Mary.
That's true. Looking at your magical score sheet there. Andy makes these beautiful sheets out that has a little diamond drawn on it so he can write the defense down and everything separated by innings. Very professional, Andy.
Thank you, Mary. You could learn something. There's a line drive single into left field. An RBI for Pete Schwind, and it's an 8-1 contest as they have pushed across 4 here as Mary's Cleaning on the bottom of the 6th.
Oh, GE just wants out of this inning. Dark's calling timeout to have a little discussion out there with Simon. A very short discussion.
Looking to GE in the 7th inning, Mary, they're at the bottom of the lineup. In fact, that's where some of the damage has been done, as you see some of the guys getting on base, but does not look hopeful. There's a beautiful shot. Line drive, and it's dropped. No catch. It'll be extra bases. No, it will not. The runner is coming home. The throw not in time. 9-1. And Eric Schwind will get credit for an RBI.
And the Mary's Cleaning bench is going wild, and they have quite a few fans over there that are having a real good time now.
He'll score that a single, and I had it written down that too, Joe, so we're in sync tonight. 9-1, they've scored 5. Eric Schwind with an RBI, and here's Pete Frosteri as they batted around here in the 6th. Playing with 9 men, Mary, they've scored 9 runs, and they lead by 8. Another Cable 9 first. Pop up in foul territory. Lucart going over to play it in front of the bench. And the inning is over, but the damage is done. 5 runs, a host of hits. After 6, Mary's Cleaning 9, GE 1. We'll be right back.
Top of the 7th for GE. They're losing 1-9. Yikes.
And we're in the top of the 7th here at Memorial Field. By the way, I want to congratulate my broadcasting idol, Harry Carey, getting his name put in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Let me do a little bit of Harry Carey for you here.
Go right ahead.
His Gibson is to second baseman and takes it on the outside corner for strike 1.
I can't really do it.
Well, if he can get in talking like that, Andy, I think you can get in.
I know. Harry's a good guy. He tells it like it is. As Gibson sends one in foul territory for a strike. The Gibson, Cantura, and Simon for GE in the top of the 7th. It's do or die. They'll need 8 to stay alive, 9 to take the lead. Anything could happen. Ball and 2 strikes to Gibson. And a pitch. Outside, the count is 2-2.
The 2-2 pitch.
Swung on and hit into left field, a base hit. And a nice defensive effort on the stop there by Correo. Gibson's on at first, and Cantura will bat. Simon on deck, followed by Dark in the 11th spot.
The pressure's really on GE now.
Here's Cantura, the right center fielder, the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Maybe the pressure's getting to him.
There's a chop, foul back out of play. And Cantura will step out of the box for a moment. 9-1 the score. Mary's cleaning on top. And the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Go to second. They got the force to throw to first, not in time, almost a double play. Cantura on at first. Gibson retired on the fielder's choice, and here's the pitcher, Simon, with one out and Dark on deck. And we want to see Dark get up here. I think everybody at home wants to see him get up as well. First pitch is deep, ball one. Game one in our first doubleheader was OK Brugman over Cramp Stables. That's a trap base hit in the left field. Brugman beat Cramp Stables 1-0 in our first game. A three-hitter, and they lost it, a 42-minute ball game. And in this one, an explosion by Mary's Cleaning, 2 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th. They've exploded to take a 9-1 lead, and here's Dark, the catcher. He takes the first one right up at the letters for strike one, and the fans are jawing at him now. There's a moon pitch. The count is 1-1. Cantura on second, Simon at first. Swung on a base hit up the middle. They'll throw to third. They got a force out.
Excellent, excellent throw by center fielder. Who is that out there, Andy?
That's Sharp. In fact, Mary, they did it with 9 men, and Dark is robbed of a hit. I think if I were Dark, I'd go and strangle Cantura at the bench. So here's Lehman at the top of the order. That's another first. I've never seen a guy get thrown out on a base hit in the outfield before.
See if you can remember the only one seen in the major leagues in the last 20 years.
Oh, I don't remember that.
John Newcomb was thrown out at first base on a base hit.
Ground ball up the middle. They'll go to first for the force out, and the ball game is over. For GE in the top half of the 7th inning, no runs on 2 base hits. They leave 2. And that's all she wrote for game 2. Our final score, Mary's Cleaning with 9 players winning it by a score of 9-1. And Mary, your final thoughts on 2 real good firsts here tonight on Cable 9. A team with 9 players winning for the first time, and also a 1-0 victory in game 1.
And we saw an amazing amount of great defensive plays in these 2 games. I was really impressed and really enjoyed these games.
I think certainly were something to remember. Good videotapes for these guys to keep, of course. We'll be back on the air with you again next week here from Memorial Field, and I think we're coming back for Monday, Wednesday again. We'll have to check with Tom Common for the schedule, but we'll be here sometime next week. So that does it in record time, friends, in less than an hour and a half. That wraps it up from Memorial Field. Speaking for my colleagues, Mary Moore, Joe Hauser, everybody here at Memorial Field, the entire Cable 9 crew, this is Andy Sevcik saying so long until we see you again next week.